It is an eternal island of legend. A place of unimaginable beauty. And a growing evil. Where the forces of death and life are in constant conflict. For centuries, many have come in search of its power. Only to fall to its corruption. Lured by the promise of power and immortality. The darkness will claim you. Do you really want to live forever?
What's up, boys? Welcome back to another New World Wednesday. That trailer needs updating. It said fucking release on May 2020 there. Boys, the lovely Nox Evo.
I love how Ped's over it.
You see my bod's job of Nox. And obviously the legend Tight is with us as well. He's gone for red tonight. Who's that beast? All right, boys. So, yeah, the plan tonight is we're going to talk about a little teaser that's been dropped just to discuss it. We are going to have a quick run through of the different clans that we've got, which is now 3. We'll let you know more about that. And then we're going to go over the crafting update, which got released, I think, in January now. And we have no time limit tonight. I probably won't go too long, but since we were doing adult things last weekend and uncontrollable circumstances, we missed it. But here we are. Want to say anything, boys, before we crack on?
Far away.
So just a quick intro. So Nox is going to be leading Clan 2 for us. Obviously, we've discussed that Clan 1, Clan 2 is all one big clan, but he's going to be the governor of Clan 2. So fire your abuse at him, please.
I can take it.
Need a US clan. Yeah, so there's actually, I think there's about 4 or 5 guys from the US that are saying it's going to be difficult to play on the EU servers because lag and things. Yeah.
Never really thought about that, actually.
I think because Reckless is like middle of the country, so the EU is as far away as possible from him.
Fair.
All right, so first thing on the agenda. What do you boys think about this?
It's an icicle.
With retweet symbols on it.
Reckless X
Oh my god!
Subs to viewers.
Reckless is going again.
Reckless!
Insane. Dan is going to start crying in New World Wednesday.
Thank you, legend. Thank you so much.
Might as well sub myself. No, get a subber.
Slatter has gifted 10 subs to viewers.
So it would.
Oh my
Let's go, boys! Reckless, Cap. Thanks, lads. Oh, boys, thank you so much. Yeah, what do you think it's going to be, Nox? Any ideas?
It's definitely towards magic. Definitely, I think like a lot of us have been been skeptical on points that they need more elements to help and towards it. So I do think it'll probably like an ice gauntlet or something along those points. So people that have been wanting slows, DCs, anything like that, I do think that'll bring it. That's my choice.
Yeah, I've seen some people shared. I could probably bring it up, but I can't be asked. Some early days gauntlet. You know, that was like a circle thing hand, and that was
Like
based
hold
around.
your ball, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
And there's been like chats. I think that this is an upgraded version of it, but it could completely be none of that shit and just be, I don't know, fucking claw.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, what could it actually be?
I know.
Like,
Do you really think it would be? It's like a gauntlet, isn't it?
but do you really think they would like feature it like that if it was a weapon?
With the ice behind it.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like everything ice thing, it all kind of goes together. But you never know. Amazon, they're just messing about. Could be absolutely anything. Could be nothing. Could be something in the background, for all we know.
Yeah, it's just a background.
There looks a bit like a female hand. Well, because it's thin.
It's quite thin, yeah. The old long fingernails.
Good toothpick.
Could even be I don't know, hint at a raid or something. I don't know, something like that. Anything, really?
I've never heard anything like that they've mentioned like that's going to be towards that point. I mean, hey, if it is, that'd be awesome. Like you've got to complete it to get the weapon, you know, so that sort of thing. But no, I do think it's a simple weapon release, personally.
Really? Yeah, maybe.
The glorious medieval did. He found some old footage, whether it's his or not, I don't know, but he had some footage from before of I think like a pre alpha where they were actually using the previous or something like that. They were using like a healing hand type thing.
All right, fair enough.
But I haven't seen it officially yet.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it'd contradict though, wouldn't it, with the life stuff? But, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you make that different to, I guess, like what Nox said, CCs and stuff like that? Obviously, with it being surrounded by ice and everything, but like, at the same time, is that really needed in this game?
I think Cratty's made a good suggestion. Maybe next week the hand will turn and give us a middle finger. It's just a big prank. Fuck you guys. But yeah, yeah. I just thought we'd have a. It's cool, you know. It's cool that they're doing shit like this and they're releasing things. Let me bring up my notes. Okay, so I was going to quickly go over Clan 1, Clan 2, and what we've called the Community Clan. Taking some what's the right word? From our friends at Full Control, you know, with what they did with Last Oasis. Basically, okay, so Clan 1 and Clan 2 are pretty much full already. I think we're on 49 people on Clan 2.
Pretty close.
Yeah. And now 48 with Clan 1. I think we swapped some people out after they were sort of left the Discord and stuff, and things were moving around from 1 to 2, and we've been swapping and changing the bits. But those are pretty much full. And over this week, there's been a few people getting in touch saying, you know, still interested to join, blah 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 blah, but don't actually know people within the clan yet. So the idea behind the Community Clan, what's been done in the past, is if you do not know someone within the clan at the moment, we would use this Community Clan section to basically induct people into the madness and into the company. So yeah,
kind of like a spot for people to, you know, like showcase themselves.
Yeah, and and
wanna
still be
part of it,
together.
Why? Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, sticking them in a in a holding pen, as it were, and people can still do things together and be a part of the clan and stuff.
Yeah, and ultimately, it's not just us watching you; it's you watching us. Whether you like the way we play, whether you like the way we talk to each other, there are all sorts of things, you know.
Some things Dan say will be questionable, but
That's it. Yeah, they need a chance to try the wars and whether they can take the abuse during the wars. But I think the main thing and the reason behind it is that, or why it will work in this game, is because there doesn't seem to be massive benefits, or from what we saw in the preview anyway, massive benefits from actually being in the clan, if that makes sense.
yeah.
In a weird way. So obviously you have to pay the full tax price and stuff, but we can, for example, with Clan 2, we can just drop you 100,000 here and there. Just instead of buying weapons and chucking them on the floor, we'll actually use the money for good things.
Yeah, you did it beforehand, if I remember correctly, as well, didn't you? So on the
Yeah.
preview.
So all the tax money that comes in anyway, we can share that out, and obviously you can everyone in the community clan and Clan 2 can still join in the clans within Clan 1. So yeah, so Clan 1, what I've basically put down is, as my very brief description, heavily active players. So, you know, with if you end up going offline within 2 to 3 days, or not coming online within 2 to 3 days, the chances are, if you haven't spoke to us, you'll probably be moved out of Clan 1 and someone much more active will be brought in. Roger. Noted. Additionally to that is you need to be fucking competitive. Sorry about swearing. Really competitive. And I put down here, think 300 vibes. You know, we want to go out into the open world with 10 people and destroy 50 people. You know, that's where we want to go.
Exactly. You need to have that sort of mentality that who cares if it's 1 versus 3, you're still going in there and giving it your best shot. Give yourself some reputation, you know. Be confident in you build, everything on those points, because that's what's going to shine for, obviously, Pirate Gaming. So that's the point.
Again, we have that dueling mechanic now, so we can actually really define ourselves as fighters when it comes down to it. Like,
oh god, I always said that I'm going to spend a few hours outside of town just messing about with duels against
exactly,
how to counter fire stuff and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
We'll have someone. We'll have mini competitions. People can shine.
See, that even in itself, that would be a good idea. For instance, meeting up, like posting in global chat or something, saying that there's a fight club going on, and there's like 100,000 gold for the winner, kind of thing. And
fun.
just get a bunch of people around and set up a fight club, and everybody will learn from it, you know.
Oh god, absolutely, yeah. You just have to accept as well that some people are going to provide you feedback, be it right or wrong, and then yeah, especially tots. But yeah,
we love you, tots, man. We love you. Fuck you, tots. We love you. Shen, how's it going, man? Good evening, buddy. We love the Zerg fighting. Absolutely, it's a lot of very structure skilled. Not everyone will make. Yeah. So going on to Clan 2. So Clan 2 is essentially an overflow of Clan 1. So we do have a lot of people within the community that will know life this game and really go for it. Probably burn themselves out a bit, but they will be going for it. And yeah, so there's an overflow of people into Clan 2 from Clan 1. And also Clan 2 is slightly more casual, but we don't like to use that word much around here. And it's going to be a big focus, or a core focus, on understanding the gathering and the crafting mechanics to basically support the wars, essentially, and all the PvP. I was going to say, like, that in itself is probably more important than the actual fighting. You know, making sure that you've got the right gear and the right foods and all that is pretty important. And yeah, I've roped Nox into being in charge of clan number 2, so here he is.
it's diplomatic, yeah.
Get get that whip out, Knox.
Got plenty of them. Break a TOS. No, yeah, no, I say people obviously have that worry, don't they, of the differences between Clan 1, Clan 2. And for those that are going to play no lifers, and I've had plenty of people have mentioned to me, like, they want to play everything. You know, they're heavy into their MMOs, so they want to touch everything. They're going to max level all weapons. They're going to do as much crafting as they possibly can. And I mean, hey, hats off to them. I mean, I probably won't be. I'll be focusing on a few things and then sticking B and getting good at that. But some people just have that knack. But just need to explain to some people that being in Clan 2 with me doesn't mean you're less of a chance of being picked for the wars, etc. on those points. Less a chance of being joined in with the groups and zerging and experiencing and things on those points. You're still part of pirate gaming as a core. So there's no bad point of being in pirate gaming too. I understand most people want to shine and be in the first one, don't they? But you're still going to be included. People just need to remember that and feel that. And obviously, that's one of my goals. And running Clan 2, along with Nim and Swamps, who are going to support me, just making sure that you feel included, even though you're in Pirate Gaming 2.
Yeah.
So that's just an important thing that we got to get across to everybody. So
I think it's also important to realize that with the two clans initially, like, mainly the reason we're doing the separation between 1 and 2 is it's purely for the very beginning, as obviously we want to separate people out, knowing who's going to play and who's not going to play, for the fact that we're going to want to try and get as much ahead as we can from the beginning, as much as possible. And later down the line, everybody's going to do everything. Like, there's going to be the PvPers that are eventually going to lay off into the PvE stuff, and there's going to be the PvEers laying over to do some of the PvP stuff. So it's an MMO, like, it's going to last a while. So it's just that initial beginning, organizing everything out, making sure everybody's in the right place, kind of thing.
Yeah, you've nailed it. Yeah, so exactly that. The idea behind Clan 1, Clan 2, and these sort of focused areas is the first 2 weeks. Let's say that first 2 weeks rush to get in there, get ahead, and basically kick as much ass as we can. And then after that, for example, with my Twitch and what I wanted to do, I want to learn as much as I can about the game and be knowledgeable and keep streaming it and do everything. Just fucking run around and chop trees. I was loving that back in the day. Tight, you're gonna do your fishing. So the idea behind 1 and 2 is that sort of initial race, putting people in groups that will be more similar with them, or like-minded. But yeah, as you just said there, Ray. Real life happens, to be honest, and if I could stop on my real life and just play New World all day every day, I would. But even me, I'll be working 9 to 5, as it were, and then gaming in the evening.
yeah, I'll be doing the exact same thing. But I mean, like I say, even if those that are in here and are going to heavily focus on crafting more than they are PvP, I mean, that's just as valuable as anything else, because not only are you providing an insight.
More than.
I would say,
Yeah, you're providing that insight, and obviously one way to leveling up, where to find resources, what's needed, etc. along those points, and then obviously to provide that top end gear, which is compulsory for us to maintain, obviously, outstanding. So if that's your feel and you prefer that over PvP, then do it.
Not to be too cliche, but honestly, without the PvE side of it, the PvPers can't progress. Like, it's just, we all know that the crafting resources, things like the food buffs, the armor, the weapons, everything's going to make that much of a difference for Clan 1 to actually progress in what they're trying to do. So realistically, Clan 2 is the heart and soul of basically whether we progress or not. Yeah. So I'm not trying to be like, oh, that's why Clan 2 is perfect for you, kind of thing. But like, it is true. It really is. Like, if people slack in Clan 2, and not saying that they can't be slackers, but if we were treating Clan 2 as the backdrop of everybody, then we're not going to progress at all.
Oh god.
To be
no,
quite
yeah.
honest.
I mean, I'll be enticing people to join in as much as possible with Clan 1 with what they're doing, and then obviously Clan 2 grouping together with Clan 1 and obviously mix and matching. So I'll be enticing people left, right, and centre to say, hey, do you want to come along, sort of thing. But it's not going to be, you must do it, otherwise you're out, sort of thing, you know. I'll be obviously kind of learning each and every individual within PG2 and saying, like, I know you want to focus more on crafting. Do you want to have a touch on PvP, sort of thing, you know, along those points? But I mean, there's no negative points for saying no. It's just, hey, join in with us as much as
Apart
you
from me
possibly
kicking
can.
your ass if you say no. Right, what the fuck? Let's go, boys.
That'd be Danny's job. Yeah, that'd be Danny's job. Yeah. If Danny's getting his ass kicked and you're not there, then fair enough. Yeah.
Sozzy, how's it going, man? Don't worry. Welcome. Just quickly sort of diving into a bit more behind that. I know we were going to talk about this sort of behind closed doors, but most of us here, 90% are clan members, and I don't mind sharing this. So sort of on launch, the sort of initial plan we've been discussing is, you know, big group of us, 100 people. There's probably going to be more than 100 of us, sort of the first day or so. Or at least within the first 12 hours, there's going to be all of us getting stuck in. The idea is that, we'll be split into Clan 1, Clan 2, and then from further on from that, based on how we understand things within beta, we'll be splitting down even further. So there'll be 10 groups of 10 off power levering. There'll be 10 groups of 5, you know, doing more things, understanding the crafting a bit more, just chilling out a bit more, understanding the questing and stuff. And then that information will be shared between, you know, Clan 2, Clan 1, for example. We're also going to have dedicated crafters for the first 2 weeks, with people that we know who are, you know, probably within the officer team or the console team. And the idea is that we will pool our mats together and we will bring, you know, we will make us boys do a lot of the work that we know that are not going to disappear after a couple of weeks, who are going to be around for a while. That we can fast level for the first 2 weeks just to give that initial boost, and then after that, everyone can kind of start to, naturally grow into what they want to do. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so for example, we'll stick, you know, Tie Eyes on cooking and Nox on engineering, and I'll be doing what's the furniture, for example. And you know, looking deeper into it, we found out that you can get buffs from furniture that would improve your cooking and things like that. So all of this is going to be really important to level quickly, and yeah, that's kind of the base idea. Putting it to practice is going to be interesting, but I'm sure we could do it with everyone working together.
Yeah, does that sound like Sims as well? Yeah, definitely.
but that's it in a quick nutshell. And you know, always we know that the game isn't fucking out yet. It's 3 months still. But we want to be ready. We want to be prepared. And while we're talking about clan stuff, all of you guys that are here, love you to bits, wicked. Every time we post something in the Discord, the README, just spam it with the reactions. Let us know that you're reading it. Let us know that you understand it. And anything you want to talk about, either DM one of us or talk about it in the members only chat. All up for discussion, all up for hearing your opinions as well.
Absolutely, everything.
Do we want to talk about the nitty gritty of the clans, as in about the ideas of if people need to take a break, say for X amount of time, if they have work, family issues, or stuff like that, they need to send us in. We're gonna have like a channel for that, for them to send in.
Yeah, I think so. Like we definitely don't want people to feel like they have to log in every day. You know, we want people to play because we're fucking destroying the server and it's insane fun. You know, just kicking ass. Simbin's got the odd beer out, good man. Good man. But yeah, like, you know, we're going to be pretty active. You know, I have a screen dedicated to Discord, for fuck's sake. Like, I am on all the time. Even when I'm at work, I'm checking Discord.
Yeah.
It's become my life. I don't know. It is what it is. Missy just said, even in bed. That's.
Oh, Dad,
I
you're
live
the
for
bad
it, boy. But all of this for me leads up to when we're standing at those gates for the 50v50. That shit gets me hyped, and I love that. That is it. We were talking about the old Guild Wars last time, and just getting hyped with like 50 of your mates online is the weirdest thing to some people, but for me, it's just I love it a bit. It's just mental, and then beating other people,
Yeah.
it's a rush, isn't it?
Welcome to the crew,
God,
Juicy
it's an absolute thrill as well. I remember the first
9512.
time we ever did one in the preview, and you just get that massive buzz and
Hold
that
on.
last
There's a sub coming down the street, down the river, man. I can't hear you. Sorry, man. Go on.
All I was saying is obviously the first time we ever did one of the wars in New Arts in the preview, I just remember the massive buzz. You get so much nerves at the beginning, like, what the hell am I expecting, And we're going out and smashing it, and we lose our 3 points, and then it comes to the castle keep, and it's just like, shit, we need to got to hold on to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then the last 5 minutes, I tell you what, is the biggest thrill I've had in so long. Just holding on for all that time.
And then you got Dan in the back.
Mines, lay your mines, mines. Everyone on the flag. If you're not on the flag, what the fuck are you doing? Get on the flag. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah, it's good.
You've got resource points, spend them.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. Every time we've watched back at the battles, you're all taking a piss at me because all I'm doing is running like left and right, shouting shit, and not even playing the game, just shouting. I'm gonna be last on these leader. Well, yes, that's close. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Dan, almost. Good job, bro.
Anyway, yes. So yeah, I'm excited, boys. I'm excited. Let me, boys in chat, do you have any questions while we're here talking about the clans and how we've set it up and things like that? Is there anything you boys want to ask while we're here?
Or even suggestions.
All that?
Yeah.
Well, we have dedicated crafters in both Clan 1 and 2. So I'll take it quickly. The idea is probably we're going to dedicate. So at the moment, we have me, Nox, Tight Eyes, Ped, Nim, Swamps, Ness, and Zerk, who have all sort of signed up that we've known and played with a lot, who are keen to console and sort of help lead the clans. I know Zerk's been very busy playing Black Desert Online with his crew, and Ness is leading Full Control pretty much on Last Oasis, and that is a horrific job. So those boys have been quite busy. But yeah, the plan is between Clan 1, Clan 2, we'll have every crafting profession covered by a dedicated person for the first 2 weeks. And at the end of the day, or, after you've gathered and you've got a full invent, find Tight Eyes with all your food, for example, and just throw it at him, and he can just level up his cooking as quickly as possible. And the way we're thinking about doing it without, we'll use you again, Tight Eyes, as an example. Without Tight just literally spending 2 weeks going out killing boars and turkeys and things like that, is that if I'm in a group with Tight and we are killing animals while doing a quest, Tight is the one who will always, skin that animal, and I'll be always the one who mines the rock, for example, because that's my profession. So we don't have to stop and completely focus on that. We will, dedicate that. Yeah. So do it as we go. But yeah, every animal that gets skinned will be Tight Eyes that does that, for example.
So
if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, Apex just explained it pretty well there. Throw shit at Tight Eyes.
But we'll
need your scrap, and that's what he'll need.
Oh yeah, I need repairs badly, boys, in that game. Like,
Big time. I remember that. Everything you give to Tyke. Anything you need, give to Tyke.
Yeah.
His gear's broken.
I was running around like a naked man all day. Like, somebody give me scraps, please.
Paul.
If there's a clan bank, I'll be willing to take one of those. Yeah, absolutely, Cap. Like, what we're doing is basically focusing on people. We haven't. There's no designated roles yet. So probably nearer the time and during beta, when everyone's had a chance to give the crafting a go and figure out what they want to do, we'll sort of open it up to dedicated people of the community that.
Also, I think like the dedicated crafters at the beginning should definitely be at least some of the most active players, and the reason for that is if they're not on and we're like, oh, we need this, you know what I mean, like we need this food buff for everybody, and they're like, oh, I can't make it on today. I think, wasn't there a suggestion about 2 people? Was it Mumi that said that?
Yeah,
I think
a backup.
Yeah, like a backup crafter, so somebody working with that person. Not only will it help the person kind of be motivated to do it, having somebody else there to help you with it, it'll just be even better to have a backup there just in case there's for any reason somebody can't get on, and then next thing you know, we have a war coming up and we have no food buffs or something like that. Just something as small as that.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, this is the focus for the first couple of weeks. Like, we're not suggesting everyone for their entire game time needs to just not craft themselves and just focus on these. It's just to get ahead of the game. When we know a war's coming up, it'll be nice that we can relax. We don't have to be massively worried. That we know that we're ahead. So that's the plan to kind of kick off and get things rolling. But we'll discuss this in finer detail. On Discord with just clan members and stuff.
I think Reckless there is asking about US
clan. Reckless. Fuck yeah!
I mean, put a taste for it and see how many people we have, obviously, on your community server that are American and want that sort of thing. I mean, if you've got the numbers, then I don't see why not, but it depends.
I mean, dude, you have you've been incredible over the last you nearly made me cry, you and Captain. Fucking hell, dudes. So if you genuinely wanted to do something like that, drop me a message, man. We'll chat about it, and I can help promote it on the Discords and start pushing it out for a US side and see if we get the interest for sure. We can have the Discord set up the same way. The clans can still run similar way, and yeah, we can look into that for sure. But yeah, drop me a message.
Exactly. Just quickly looking back to obviously Symbian, what he's mentioned as well about gathering and crafting. It's exactly that. I mean, prior to wars and things like that, and if we all feel like there's a possibility of getting the next level in food or the next level in gear or anything on those points, or next level in potions that we feel they're going to be better than the ones that are provided in the keep, thank God, yeah. I mean, 2 to 3 hours prior to a war, we can host these gathering events where just everybody just goes out and grabs everything, brings it back, feeds it for those that are the high-level crafters. And then we know that full well going into the war, we're prepared in that aspect. So yeah, definitely will be something we could look at doing.
I think that's
fun. We could always have incentives as well, like
yeah.
Whoever brings back the most of this, etc., etc. So there's always going to have that competition, That's
what I like about the whole treasury system thing, and like being able to send people money on that game, like just by typing in their username and sending the money straight to them. It's going to make opportunity for like really fun events like that, like again, like the fight club or gathering events and stuff like that, or even like just absolute mayhem when it comes to other clans. We can say, oh, this clan meets us here at this part of the map, like get like three clans from each faction, or 1 clan from each faction, and just meet up somewhere on the map and just have an all-out brawl with each other, like 3 factions versus all of each other. It'd be pretty insane.
And that links in perfectly with obviously Mumi's question about staying connected with everybody in that aspect. It's just running events, talking out one another. I mean, we've already spoken about having a Discord channel close to the time that links Clan 1, Clan 2, because obviously we know that company chat won't be seen by Clan 1 if it's said in Clan 2 and vice versa. So we have to have another way of branching people out for to speak via Discord when they're not signed on. In game, obviously, we ask you could speak company wise. You can message one of us. We'll obviously do shout outs in channels. We'll do it in game via the Marauder voices and on those points. So it actually speaks to everybody, not just us as Pirate Gaming. There's going to be lots of ways of staying connected. And obviously, us as a console, we've just got to check in, making sure that you're okay, you're happy, that the game's satisfying you, you know, and all those points, what can we do? I mean, it's a good way as well that for all of you members in both clans, and the community one really, is reaching out to us and saying, you know, as an idea, like, do you know, can we do this? Do you want to try this? Or, hey, anyone from PG1 that wants to join us in PG2 to do something, you know, vice versa. It's just, there's going to be a lot of ways of linkage between both clans to make sure that everybody's involved with everybody. It's not just 50 here, 50 there, sort of thing. So there'll be a lot of effort, especially with us console, to make sure that everybody's included.
So 21 Wagons says, I got a question that has nothing to do with the clan, but is it worth buying New World Deluxe version? Actually, what does the Deluxe version give you again?
I think it's like a pet. Yeah, skins or pet. I don't think there was anything
There's
glorious.
nothing crazy. Yeah, there's nothing crazy.
I was keen on buying like the top one to see that metal thing, but then I realized it's like an old metal CD case from 1990. I was like, fuck is this, boys? Yeah. I'm not paying for this. Give me something glorious and I'll pay for it.
And then Darige. I probably butchered that name, but
I call him Ray. His old Guild Wars name was Ray. That's
Ray. Okay.
Yeah, with a J at the end.
Might be worth having like a task board where crafters can ask for help from others. Like, I'm happy to help with whatever. Being efficient will be important for fast progression. Yeah, they're all the things that we need people to kind of feed into us, because that's kind of a quality of life thing for crafters. Then is that will help them, you know, like we were talking about having a chat in the Discord for instance, when the community members come in and stuff like that, we can post up, say if we have a crafter in Everfull posting or crafting this certain sword with this certain trait or something like that, they can put it up on the marketplace and then post it in the chat for other people to actually see that it's available there, instead of people having to port over and check every marketplace and stuff like that. So all that stuff is definitely worth putting up, you know.
Oh God, absolutely. I'm not too sure the full in-depths on the crafting. I know, obviously, the more you make of a weapon, the higher chance of you making a higher tier with higher, obviously, stats itself. So, I mean, I don't know if obviously the crafters itself will have to focus on one type of weapon, or whether they're going to have to spread across 6, or whether we have certain weaponsmith makers that focus more on staffs, that focus more on swords, that focus more on battle axes, you see. So obviously we know that when we have the tiered system in crafting, that people are getting the best that we could possibly make. Obviously it'll go to guild first before it goes to anywhere else, but yeah, so we need to obviously just make sure that whoever is going to be focusing on that is keeping us up to date, so we know where we are, and that we can provide the stations for them when we can in the cities, etc., etc. So there will be something along there, yeah.
I was just going to say, quickly jump back to Mumi's thing about staying connected. I don't think there's going to be a clan bank or a company bank. I think it's going to be all about everyone talking to each other. So I'm hoping that we can buy a house in the settlement quite quickly, and then everyone runs into this house and drops all the stuff on the floor, and then we're going to pick it up and go out and do stuff. But I don't think there's going to be a clan bank. But yeah, hoping there's a safe space.
So Lucho there just he said we don't know how fast the stations in the settlement take the upgrade and stuff like that. So there's no, you know, clarity for crafters to progress. I think that is a good point, and the reason being, I think our plan behind that one as well, Dan, is, and Nox, is basically, we were talking about this the other day, the dedicated crafters will craft up to that point, so that point to which they can't craft any further. And then that's when we'll start branching out to the rest of the crafters and being like, okay, well, I don't need all this stuff right now, kind of thing. Send this out to other people to level them up, to get them up to that bar as well.
Let me
as far
let me
as
try this while we're talking about crafting. Ready? Oh, oh no, I didn't fix it. Let me go
God.
back. What a noob! What a noob! Okay,
Destroyed it.
keep talking. I'll be back. I'll be back.
But yeah. But
I was so excited for that. Sorry, boy.
yeah, no, like as far as the crafting stuff goes and the stations, you're right in saying that. And that's another thing we have to take into account and consider whether, like, we had the idea behind, obviously when the server launches and we all get in there, to try and take over as many territories as we can first, even if we're not going to keep them. The reason being is, if we take those territories, you got to think of the advantage that has for our current territories that we want, because we can upgrade those and say, let's just say hypothetically, it's a 24-hour cooldown on each upgrade. We use an upgrade, 24 hours goes by, then somebody sets a war on, I don't know, Brightwood or something, and now they're like 2 days behind their cooldowns, whereas we're way ahead of the board. We have upgraded stuff by that time that they capture that settlement, so we're already ahead of the clan that takes that specific city.
Yeah, we got to talk tactics and stuff. Just quickly, game already delayed to 23. I don't believe so. Not yet. Where were we? Muskie 1991. Hey man, we are the developer team for New World. Nice to meet you. No, just kidding, man. Just kidding. We're just a clan. We're just a company that's getting together. Really excited for the game. And every Wednesday night we're getting together and discussing the game, talking about what we want. Everyone's quite excited about it, and it's going to bring us all together. So we're just here nerding out over the game that's not yet released.
Absolutely.
I believe this should work. Bear with me. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we're good. We're in.
Okay.
Sorry, boys.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. So, just sort of moving on a little bit.
Oh, Ped's finally joined us. How are you doing, Ped?
Peds just got much more beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan's looking around like, what are you on about?
I'm like, is he in the channel?
It's right between our cameras.
All right. This is Nox to my right. My right. Left for me, right for you. I was just gonna quickly catch up with Mimi. What do you think of? I don't really understand your question, Mimi. Do you mean like how many people have joined this current stream to see what we're up to? Talking about
So you've got the word New World. Yeah, people are like, there's people playing New World, even though it's under, obviously.
Seeing if we're leaking some alpha footage or something.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully some people are interested that are outside of the clan, but
you might have one of the New World community guys in here just checking in that we're not leaking anything under the NDA.
hey.
Hi to you.
So as always, we're gonna go back in time, catching up with the previous update. So we've been kind of talking about this already today. So today is we are up to January on the crafting update. As always, I won't do my reading because I'm bad at reading. If you haven't gone through this, guys, it's definitely worth going through it in more detail. But I'll sort of skip all the way down to their glorious screenshot that they've got here. Let's see if I can make it even bigger.
How rich they are, like 10 million coins. Like.
Where was that?
At the top of the screenshot there.
Oh yeah.
We were close to that.
Nearly there.
Nearly.
So this is, if you haven't seen it yet, guys, this is kind of the sort of reworked crafting area, crafting station. So it's got a complete overhaul in the way it works compared to what we saw in the preview. But the main thing is sort of down here on the left. And as far as I'm aware, these numbers are the important numbers, which represents your, you can see here, this guy's, yeah, I believe anyway. I believe this is your crafting level. I don't know if anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is crafting level. So going back to what we were talking about before, the clans, the more we craft, the more someone will be able to create important things to go to the next level. Thank you, Lucho. Thank you very much. Yeah, we haven't had a chance to see too much of the new weapons, as in regards to kind of on the crafting screen, but this is great to look at and great to see. So this will probably come down to Pester and Unox to see how everyone's sort of doing in the sort of.
Oh god, I'll be checking in on people every other day in regards to it, just to see, how they're finding it, whether it's easy, whether they're finding that the resources needed for some weapons are high, so you only get 1 or 2 chances of crafting a potential high gear score thing, or I'll be getting updates left, right, and center. You see, as you can see, like when they make that great axe there in the picture, there's a chance of it being between 500 and 650, which is massive. So it's kind of something we're going to work on with those dedicated crafters, on making sure that they get as much potential out of it as possible, and how the ins and outs on like adding max resources or certain amount of here and there, and whether we see if 15 Asmodium is a lot, or whether that's a little amount. It's little things we're going to learn at the time. So
one thing as well we have to take into consideration is when we have one dedicated crafter, let's say hypothetically we only had one dedicated crafter, the Azoth that's required in pretty much all of the crafting things, I remember from the preview at least, there was a cap on it. So it's not like it's not like if we have one crafter, he can craft like weapons for everybody all day, because he's going to have to go and farm that Azoth again. Because again, I don't think it was tradable from what I remember.
Yeah, only from killing mobs, I remember correctly. Anyway, I remember getting it.
Yeah. So there is gonna be that time balance between it, where it's like we're gonna need multiple people doing it. But it's just something to take into account as well.
Yeah. But it's exciting business. I mean, like I say, just knowing full well now that, unlike the preview, that we knew at every 10 levels we'd just go and buy the best PvP gear from that vendor and it would be fine. Knowing now that crafted gear is the way to go, especially endgame, is extremely exciting, because if we can get there before all the other syndicates or anything on those points, then we're miles ahead on that aspect, and obviously a higher chance of dominating even more so. So it's just a big thing for us to really work together on and complete. So I'm chuffed that they've obviously made it that way.
Cracking on. So one thing that I really like is that they've changed the appearance. So as far as I'm aware, I believe tier 1, going back to cooking, tier 1 cooking station might just be like, a pot over a fire, and then I'll be able to bring them up actually. The further up the tiers they go, the better they start to look. Let me
I was going to say, doesn't the settlement itself change in appearance the more higher tiers?
It's the higher the fortress, I think, that changed that. So it was upgrades towards the fortress that would change this, or it might even be a whole. It might be everything as a whole.
I was led to believe at the beginning everything would change, and you'd start, the town would be slightly smaller and it would get bigger and bigger as you level it up. But I don't know if that is a thing, or I didn't see it change at all in the preview.
I don't think the town itself actually changes, but I know the name does, because if you remember when we had Everfall, when we started upgrading it, it went from like Hamlet to town, or Hamlet village, and then or village Hamlet. I don't know which way it went, but it was changing when we were upgrading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that the stations were changing. I just wasn't sure whether the cosmetic side of the town, like you said, from a hamlet to a village to a city, etc.
I don't think it does personally. I don't think it actually changed, because you got to take into account, if it did, like, you're gonna have people online at the point that it does that, and it's gonna be weird for everybody's game. I think, like, if the town just randomly pops in buildings where people were standing, like it could probably.
I think I remember I don't know if it's the PvP side of it as well, but the PvE side of it, if you lose that aspect, crafting stations lose a level as well, don't they?
The PvE one, yeah. I think it's a random.
Because if you lose that battle against PvP, a tier 5 will go down to a tier 4, etc. So I'm not too sure.
I believe the PvE was the crafting stations, and the PvP, if you lost the war, it would degrade the fortress upgrades.
Okay, yeah, of course. Because that'd be cool, like obviously when you go into like Everfort and you've got like the wooden barricades and walls around the whole settlement, and then when you hit like the max tiering, that it changes the stone walls and stone barricades. That'd be like so cool, especially for like the walls and that,
Yeah.
It looks so cool. But we'll see. Once we all get
I do hope they change the look of the fortress when you upgrade it, because I know they did a small bit. There was a couple of minor changes to the fortress when you upgraded it, but it was nothing like what you were saying there with the. It would be nice to see eventually, stone walls behind it, because when you're in a war against it, you'll be like, okay, boys, this is going to be a hard one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Danneh's fan now. Yeah, this is how I remember the crafting stations evolving.
Yeah. So there is some better pictures somewhere, but obviously I'm not prepared. Oh, I've got them. So yeah. So here, for example, is I don't even know what this is upgraded, but let me just move.
That looks like the alchemy one.
Yeah. Peddler's favorite place. That's the tannery, yeah.
Oh, that actually looks really good.
Yeah. The cooking one again. Yeah. This is really cool. I think this is a really cool update. Even in Fry, mate, I think this is just like changed it for me. It makes you want to really upgrade the town and make your town look better. And I mean, I'm all about that. I'm all about the way the town.
Well, that's what they have about the housing system, isn't it? I mean, if you have the most score on your housing over everyone else that's bought the same house, your house is the one that's on the show.
Yeah.
So that's a cool aspect as well. So I mean, a lot of people can have those bits and bobs on show and show off, like gain yourself again more reputation with someone else if it's in a visible place. So it's pretty cool. There's loads of little things, little niches and things to, people that are interested in the cosmetic side of things. Because I know like Banana and that love it, and Skylake love it.
I think most people will be using that housing system anyway with the passives that you get from it. It's just too good not to.
There's lots of things here. I've completely overlooked all of this while reading the updates in the past. Like all of these things, I just haven't even looked into it. Different types of perks.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm guessing those items are going to be like, they have to be like monster drops, right?
I'm assuming a lot of them would be. I remember like a level 10 boar would drop a chance of a green tusk sort of thing. But if you went to get a level 50 boar, you'd have a chance of getting a
jagged
blue or an
boar tusk.
Exactly, yeah. So I do remember it was all based on the level of the creature. Because people, I remember, were whinging left, right, and centre in the PV saying, well, why do I bother killing the high-level boars when I can kill the low-level ones and get more resources quicker? And I'm like, yeah, you'd get all the basic resources quicker. Congratulations. But later on, when you need the best resources, you need to go and kill the bigger ones, I'm afraid, mate. And they just won't get it. So I'm kind of glad they're definitely implementing that. So
Symbian there just said, so the vision is to take a town/region and upgrade it and upgrade it as much as possible. Yeah. So
absolutely, yeah. I mean, Everfull, I think, is going to be our central point, isn't it? So I think that's the one that we're going to always fight so hard to keep and make sure that it's maintained and focused on as much as anything else. And obviously, then every other territory we gain around that will build in and around Everfull. So obviously, that's the plan. But obviously, I think because of the delays that we're going to have, the the cooldown period between changing the crafting stations. I think you'll find that Everfall will be more focused on forging, for example, while Brightwood might be more focused on potions, etc. Until obviously we can get it all up to max tiering. So we will have that possibility. So
if you haven't seen this before, Sin, this is the way the map looks. So green's Marauders, purple is Syndicate, Covenant's yellow. But yeah, this was from the preview, and basically you can claim these areas. So there are borders you can sort of see on the coloured ones here, and that's what you claim. That's what you take. And the main benefit I saw from sort of owning Cutlass Keys and then Morningdale was that you could travel cheaper between these locations. But we're hoping money's not going to be an issue. Or was it Azov? I can't remember. To be honest, I think it might have been Azov actually to travel.
Yeah, it's Azov to. Mm-hmm. So you'd have your Hearthstone set to either the Innkeeper, and then you'd have a stone set to your home if you bought a home, and then if you wanted to just randomly teleport to somewhere else because there's a call out for a war or something, then you can teleport with Azov as well.
So Fryer, so in the preview, for example, this was I think we've got 6 locations here, and it became quite difficult to not difficult. It was difficult to manage because all of the war times were at the same time. So it was like 4 o'clock every day. We had to have 6 wars going on, and that was really difficult to manage. Luckily, we had shed loads of people wanting to fight. I think one war was 250 people or something crazy like that. But you know, Tights sort of discussed, you know, a potential idea of just buying everything and then letting them fight and take it back. You know, there's a chance that we might just take one and focus on that one, and then attack the others as we go when we feel like we're comfortable to do so. We haven't decided exactly yet, but the idea is, you know, maybe one time we're going to have everything. That would be quite an achievement, organized wise and like PvP wise. That'd be great.
So Freiburg there said, can we set times only globally or individually? I think it's individually per territory, but it's only the defending territory that you can change. So for instance, if we were attacking somewhere, we can't set a time to attack that place. They'll have a dedicated time that they have set themselves, which is perfect. And I think they have fixed it because, again, in the preview, it was like 4 o'clock or something, and a lot of us were working at those times. Some of us almost got fired a couple times because we had to stay home and do it. But, you know, that's just no life.
Sometimes we didn't have enough people as well. Like, Everfall was under attack the same time as Morningdale. And obviously we've got our best 50 people protecting Everfall, which means we had lesser numbers at Morningdale, you know. And so the ability now for our defender, if we own them, be prepared for having multiple wars in one day. I mean, they only last half an hour. So, I mean, if you can just log on for half an hour, that'd be incredible to do so. But if you can't, obviously, we understand. But if you just be prepared that the more territories we have, the richer we get, the stronger we are, the more rep we'll have. But there's the possibility of needing to be on a little bit more than normal in regards to defending it. I mean, spread out the times to make it favourable. Like we get, I can't remember how long's notice we get since someone's declared war. Is it like 40 hours or 24 hours or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
24,
yeah, so we can do call outs. As soon as someone we know that's declared war on a certain territory, we can do a call out, like a little poll saying, you know, what time can you be on?
Reckless!
Also,
sorry, go.
Crazed Lion is looking forward to the game release, and you think it's gonna find any success? I think so. I personally think so. Myself, anyway.
It's getting watched by the big names, you know, like I think Force Gaming's done quite a few reviews on it now. Asmongold played the preview and was excited by it and talking about it. You know, people love them, people hate these guys, but they've got huge audiences that just them alone, you know, potentially millions of people have seen the game.
Absolutely, yeah.
Also, you've got eyes on it. Like, even so, Ashes of Creation and things like that, you've got this big rivalry, which is very healthy between these two new big MMOs. So both of them are kind of going to be having a tug of war on, like, who releases the best content, what's the best MMO to play, kind of thing. So I think that's a healthy thing for the game, and it's going to actually help its growth, especially coming from Amazon. Like, they're going to pump money into it to make sure it's making money, you know? So
Well, welcome, by
I was
the
going
way.
to say, I think
Long.
Ashes is quite far off, isn't it?
it is.
Being anywhere near complete.
It is, but I think because these are like the two new upcoming MMOs now, so I think they're kind of.
Yeah. I know Ashes has got a lot of hype behind it to a point where what they've said they're going to aim to do has excited me as well. Being obviously a heavy World of Warcraft player since 2004, I've kind of like always followed it, and they've kind of put a bit of everything into it. So yeah, it has excited me, that aspect. But hey, New Worlds will be long out and settled, and prior to, I think, the launch of that. So I don't think there'll be too much of a overlap on that aspect. So I like to think, that 2 years down the line after release of New Worlds, things will be muchly progressed, so people can make that choice of whether they're enjoying New World or whether Ashes of Creation's for them. But right now, our focus is New World. So yeah.
I put it in a politically correct way. He's rock hard. He's wearing no pants. That's how excited he is.
He's been on Ashes, hasn't he? So
yeah,
he's got an idea.
Freiburg, if anyone isn't aware yet, is going to be sort of, or is currently heading up the Ashes side of Pirate Gaming. Obviously, we are aware that it's a way away yet, but if you're keen on showing interest with us, then there is an Ashes of Creation page on the Discord with fantastic form. Get your asses over there and fill that in and show some love, and we'll save you spots. I think I'm in the beta.
Welcome to the crew battle, Mamiak.
Battle Maniac. Thank you for the prime, dude. Very kind. So get over to that because I'm in the beta. I think Freiburg's got the alpha. There's going to be a few of us playing Ashes when it's possible. And obviously, New World is the thing for us. But if Ashes is glorious as it's supposed to be, then 250 versus 250 wars is going to be mental.
Buy a new computer, I think. Fucking hell.
Yes, it. Back to sort of crafting quickly. One thing that I don't know if I'm sad to find this cool or not, but looking at some of the pictures that they've created for the different foods, for example, like they've actually gone away and put some effort into the different foods. And I think if they're doing things like this, a cabbage wrapped roasted fish and coming up with these names and all this sort of stuff and the pictures, I think if they're putting the effort into these small details, then already from the preview, it's starting to look great. So maybe 6 months down the line, if they actually release and we get to play it, all these little smaller details will start to continue on and it'll just become awesome. So yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be good.
Back to obviously Sozzy said, in regards to the faction worry, what we noticed in preview when we dominated, it didn't happen really at all because the fun wasn't ever taken away because there was always that challenge of the other factions to group up. Because I mean, when one faction declares war on another, so the defending faction, like say us, only Marauders can defend it. I think no, you could have a mix, couldn't you, if I remember correctly?
You're right, yeah. So
so you're not fixed completely to it. I mean, predominantly you'd want more Marauders in that aspects, but for the other factions, the aim of the game for them at that point there would be to work together to overthrow the dominating faction. So I don't think it will cause an issue on leaving a server to be bone dry, just one faction only, I think. And obviously, like we've mentioned earlier, Ty mentioned about reaching out to the other factions and pulling them into an event sort of thing just to make sure they're involved and getting them to be together, and ultimately to make it more fun for us as well, because, it's always nice to have a challenge. I mean, it's amazing to zerg someone and absolutely crush them and destroy them, but it's always nice to have a bit of challenge, on that aspect, like we did in the preview with balance.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think
we'll get it here.
the idea behind it is we don't want to push any people out of the server. We want people to stay in the server, but we also want it to be competitive because, again, there's a couple. I don't mean to be toxic, but there's a couple of clans out there that say that they did this or did that. But I mean, the servers weren't that populated back then and stuff like that. Even our one, like we did have a big clan we were going against, but that was only one. We didn't have any other clans in there that even ranged to our scope. Yeah. And we don't want the server to die out and then for us to just have all the territories and we won the game kind of thing. We don't want that. We're not trying to basically take over and push everybody out and be toxic. It's just we want good, fun, competitive content, obviously, because obviously Dan will be streaming it all the time and everything. So it's.
I was gonna say, I think the thing is that the way the game and the battles have been designed is that if you are claiming everything, you know you need to probably have 5-6 clans that are sort of independently managed within one clan, if that makes sense. So we'd have like clan 1 to 6 that each clan is doing their own thing and is completely self-sustainable. Because the one thing that I found is that when we had, if you think about it, if we could go to war every 24 hours, we would have to have 50 people online from, let's say, 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock every night, fighting in wars every night just to hold the territory. And to be honest, that would be epic fun, but doing that many wars a day, yeah, you would be knackered, and the content would get kind of samey if you were constantly fighting 50-50. So I think it's designed well enough that we might be able to claim it for a little bit of time, but it's going to be very difficult to hold on to that. It would
be really, really cool in that aspect is like, let's say a year down the line of New World's been open, they look at all the servers and they can see like who's dominating, who's holding much, and then one day they create like a competition server where they bring the best people from that server's dominating into it, and then from the other servers they're dominating into it, and then have like a 2-month Royal Rumble on a map, like who can dominate it, and then the winner gets a prize, sort of thing. That'd be something amazing if they could do.
That would actually be legit. That would be really fun.
I don't know if you remember, but back, we've talked about this previously, but I think preview servers were 1,000-man each, and I think I remember hearing something somewhere that they wanted to increase that to the 10K, and I know we spoke about it, but I think that will also make it interesting that if there's 10 servers that were 1,000 people each, that there's somehow a merge. Who knows how it would happen, but potentially that could happen, and that would again make it more competitive.
I think yes on that, but the 10K mark is like
that's crazy.
I've said this before about the resource nodes and stuff like that. I remember what was the swamp with the oil?
Yeah, for the oil.
Yeah, man. I remember running around there trying to beat people to the oil depots and stuff like that, and it was kind of annoying. And
there won't be. I don't think it'll be like 10K with the current map setup though. It'll be 10K when the mount, if mounts come out, or there's discussion that mounts will be coming out, because it's going to take you 2 hours to run from one side of the map to the other, or something like that. So I think it would increase as the maps increase. So don't think about 10K as 10,000 people fighting over Everfall, because that's the main town, but it would be 10K with 4 types of Everfalls and that sort of scenario,
It will be fireworks. I mean, if the other factions are going to be as active as we are, yeah, Devil Soul Mafia definitely like those points. It will be a case of fighting over resources. I mean, especially with the new zones as well. Obviously, the resources in there are going to be new and end game, and obviously we're going to want as much of it as possible. So there's always going to be call outs from us saying we need 20, 30 people now over, obviously, to the new zones, because we've got a fight on our hands, sort of thing, because we want the resources, sort of thing. So there's always going to be that aspect to it. Absolutely. I mean, we kind of don't want to kill it in that aspect to a point where they never have a chance, but we kind of want to get there first.
Yeah, and this goes into this crafting update as well. they're bringing in new types of resources, new types of materials. Thanks for the follow, dude. And I think, yeah, the difficulty, what Tight's talking about, Fry, is that, you can toggle straight into PvE and just run around and claim things, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. It's first come, first serve. So, yeah, I think they should do a good job of bringing the right amount of people onto the right servers, but it's going to be a bit of trial and error, I guess.
Absolutely.
I do think that the open world PvP would be absolutely amazing if there was 10,000 people.
That'd be insane, wouldn't it?
But here's the thing though, what they really need to do with that game, going from the preview, seeing some of the areas on the world map itself. I think it was Morningdale, which was the most open one. It was kind of like plains, like grass plains, from what I remember. Yeah. I'd like to see a lot more, I guess, battlements just randomly around the map, right? In certain big open areas, so that, and kind of make those PvP quests go to those areas, so that there's just all out. There's areas on the map that you go to that there's going to be PvP at. You know what I mean? There's just hot spots on the map, perfect for PvP. I think
we kind of found that, didn't we? Kind of found that in a preview. We were all farming the portals up north, and whoever could control that zone PvP'd up would get the extra buff as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or alternatively, they could join in with us anyway if they just unflagged. So
yeah,
there's always potential for a faction to join in with us. Just they'll have to do it without the additional benefits you get of being flagged up for PvP. So
just scrolling through here. This is quite cool. Do you think this containers now only hold items that can't be harvested from the world? Do you think that includes? Do you remember when we were killing? I think it was portals, and obviously the last boss, you got the essentially the chests. Do you remember? And you stacked up 50, 60. Do you reckon that includes them as well?
I'm gonna assume
containers now only hold items that can be harvested from the world. I don't get what that means.
When they say harvest, it's the question of is that something you go up to and you hit that button and that's harvesting, or are we talking about something that is looted from a mob itself?
It's gone of the days of finding corn and carrots in lootable containers. So I'm assuming things that you go up and pull out of the ground. Yeah.
That's actually sad, to be fair. I don't know why they're doing that. I wonder who put that in to say, oh, that's
I think the
issue.
idea is that if you get I think it makes sense in the way that to get your food gathering skill up, if you found it in someone's house and that leveled it up, it takes away from the sort of realism of actually going out and pulling out the ground, maybe. But also it's kind of cool. Maybe there'll be new items in there and things.
Yeah, what I'm taking from that in that aspect then is obviously we had the boxes in every house, didn't we? In every zone, and you'd loot it and it'd be full of things like potions and such and foods. So I'm going to assume that these containers now that are spread across the map are going to be more aimed towards those. And so if there are individuals and solo players, then it will obviously contain potions and such, so that person doesn't have to consistently keep buying or have to craft, so they have that possibility of getting decent potions from these containers instead of looting it and getting a carrot instead of a potion, which to them a potion is more valuable than a carrot. So
evening, Mike. Gather-balls to gather-balls. That's it. Yeah, it kind of makes sense, but yeah, I know where you're coming from as well, Ty. No more corn from end of Dungeon Chezzy.
I think that would annoy a lot of people. They've just done the end game dungeon and they get to one of the chests at the end and they loot it and there's a carrot.
I just think that was a good, because in my head, right, if you remember from the preview, we used that as an example before to pile up those lootables that not necessarily we would have been using to give to the crafters, so that kind of gets rid of that idea then. Yeah. So literally it's going to be harvestables only, so that's actually really important that topic for us personally as a clan and a company is to take that into consideration, because if you do remember, whenever we'd go up north and we'd be farming those, I call them dolmens. I know they're not, but we'd be farming those. We'd come back and we'd have all these excess like carrots and corn and potatoes and stuff like that. I would end up giving it to the crafters in the preview. So I suppose it is a good thing, but it's also, to me personally, I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of limits your
Yeah.
input. I get that. Yeah, I get that completely.
Do we know if there'll be alliances? The alliance system is basically the faction system, right? I think that's the idea behind that, is that if you're all on Marauders, then we should kind of be working together to some extent. But yeah, there's obviously that opportunity that if there's a clan on Marauders that you don't like, you don't have to join in the wars to help them defend their territory. But again, it's within your interest to do so. I don't know why.
I'm curious to see if like when we tax a town in regards to it, is that to us only, or is that's everyone, isn't it?
That's everybody.
So
Yeah.
It's everyone, and I think we get it. I can't remember if we get it cheaper or we get it free as a clan.
Yeah, was it as a clan or as a faction? You see, that's another thing I kind of need to look at when we get a chance or an opportunity to see.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, you can find that we're having a war defensively, and there's a Marauder on the opposite team attacking us. But that's their choice at the end.
I think they should probably put incentives for other clans. Like, say, for instance, a Marauder's attacking the Syndicate, and what's the other one? The Yellow.
Covenant.
What's the Yellow? The Covenant. Yeah. So they want to join. I don't know, and help Syndicate. Like, I think there needs to be some sort of like balance there, as far as like, why would the other faction help them? Because you're gonna have a lot of like, I guess, people doing bad things, as in you're getting a group of people that will join into a war and just won't on purpose join in, or they may join in and just sit there AFK. Like, you're gonna get a lot of that kind of stuff going on, I feel like, anyway, because it's very, you can abuse it a little bit, especially for the smaller clans. Like, they don't really know what they're necessarily, who they're adding to the roster,
Yeah, as well. It was determining on who took over the territory as well, because it wasn't always the person that declared the war. There was some sort of other factor was in play, wasn't it? Like, if we declared the war, then there's a possibility that another Marauder clan would get it.
There was a lottery system, essentially. So you could have 10 clans sign up, or 10 clans declare war on one territory, and then it was a bit of a lucky dip who got that. So it could be a clan, it could be a community of 100 people like us, or it could be a 2-man clan gets that chance to take that land. So again, we could be salty and be like, do you know what? I'm not going to join in this fight. But again, if you're really toxic, you could take 48 players into their war and just not fight and make them. There is that chance that people can fuck that up. So I think there is. It really depends. If we lost it 10 times to the lottery system, you would want to do something at that point to be like, right, I've been patient with the system. It doesn't work. Let's ruin it.
Even if there was a bidding system to it, do you think that would work? I think that would probably work, right? So how you have to pay.
Yes and no. Like, because like us, we're going to have much more money than a 2-man clan, so we'd always
exactly
win. Which is good for us, but it takes away content from smaller clans as well. There could be a small clan that we really like, and we already own 4 territories. We just want to help them claim another territory for the Marauders, and we just get in and send them 40 of our best to support them with their 10. So it is a real difficult system, and I don't think there's a way to make it perfect, but I think what they've done is pretty good to make it fair. And I don't know. Okay, so it costs, let's say, 15,000 to go to war. Whether I can't remember whether you got that money back. I don't think we had an opportunity.
I don't think you did. No,
I don't think you did. No,
so that
it's just
there,
like contribution to the funds, isn't it?
That there would say that someone like us, if we lost 5 times to 5 other smaller clans, that we would have the funds to be able to keep going to war, whereas they might struggle. and that could work quite well. But yeah,
I mean, ultimately, if we had another Marauder clan take it or get the town through the lottery function, and they weren't productive with it, they weren't doing anything with it, ultimately, whoever declares war on them, like I said, we can either defend and not do anything, or we could be on the attackive time.
we
Take
can,
over the town anyway.
So that's kind of, so, and I don't mean to sound like
I don't think
like
we
an
can go on. I don't think we can attack Marauders though. I think we can only attack.
No,
Trades,
we
no.
I think so.
Because I remember, obviously, you had in the preview, you had one of your friends. I think he was Covenant. I think come and joined us on the defense, couldn't he?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, so if the opposite factions can fight for each other, and we had, I think we were. I think it was Covenant versus Syndicate, and we had players on both teams just fighting each other for fun. That was when we fought each other. Yeah. Sorry, Tights Bone.
No, it's good. It's just I think I do not personally think, right? Realistically, it's an MMO, yeah. Like, do not realistically think that that's fair for lower end. I say lower end, but lower populated clans that aren't putting in as much effort. I don't think it should be that everybody wins. Like, it should be the case that, oh, we're the better clan. We have more money. We can take this place. We can put this money down and guarantee our spot in this, rather than.
Yes and no. Like, yeah, it makes sense, but also, there's a lot of people out there that just like playing with a 10-man group, and I think like we've kind of discussed there that over time they won't be able to fund it as much, unless they're constantly playing. So I think it makes sense, but it kind of doesn't make sense from a point of view that we may lose out 10 times trying to attack the same land. Like if these 10 other clans are constantly losing, and there's an opportunity that our 50 are the highest level at the moment, and we've got the best, we would win it, but we can't actually get the chance to win it for our company. Yeah, I know that's going to be frustrating, but I think we would in the long run, we would get it if we were better.
Yeah.
Like kind of Noxious said, if they're not putting the money in and the time to upgrade the town, no one's going to help them defend it when it comes to that. If they're just not pulling their weight, then they'll lose it, and then we'll get a chance to take it back again. And that's a bit of a long-winded shit way of doing it. But in the end, if we are putting in the effort, we should win it.
We would end up having it, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly what you're saying, maybe. As I mentioned about the communication side of things, it won't just be like clan based on that accent, it's faction based. There is a faction specific chat in the game, so you can always do a call out in the faction, and then if someone else from another clan that's in the Marauders joins us, then absolutely brilliant.
How about the possibility of territory transfers then, or trades, let's say?
As in to say, hey, I don't like Everfall anymore, your clan can take it tight.
Pretty much.
Or yeah, that's another thing. Or you can elect a governor. Like,
yeah.
Pirate Gamer owns the territory, but a governor of another Marauder clan runs it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The funds go to Pirate Gaming, but yeah, it's run.
And the upgrades are used from our treasury as well, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
King Wasabi, thanks for the follow. Yeah, there's lots of ways that they can take it, so it'll be interesting to see which way they go. So just quickly back to this crafting thing. These are kind of quite interesting. If you haven't read this yet, boys, it's worth spending a little bit of time on this. But categorical ingredients can be used in recipes. There are more recipes than ever before, as we've sort of seen from these pictures here. There's a lot more than what there was in the preview. New ways to make things. This is cool, and I think that's everything to do with the crafting system. So more materials. I think you need new items from different crafting stations to, for example, to build the greatest battle axe. You need something from a different crafting station to bring to the forge, for example. I think that's the thing now. And then the trade skill progression has changed as well. Yeah, lots of things changed with the crafting.
Mumi said there about the faction kind of gaming rather than the guild part. So he's basically saying, obviously, comms between other guilds from our faction is going to be really important. And he's asking if you agree. Personally, I agree as well. I think alliancing properly with other factions is definitely a good thing.
Governor Max with his max tax.
I mean, generally, I think in the preview as well, we got to a point where we were kind of shouting out in faction, stating like, what upgrade do you all feel would be beneficial to you? So there was coming to a point where we were taking on board other people's opinions. But again, I think we'll and ultimately be focusing on our gains first, making sure that we're not bottlenecked by crafting.
Yeah.
But then after that, obviously, we'll be reaching out to other people's opinions, say like, "Oh, what do you want leveled up next?" sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because some people don't want to travel from Monarch's Bluff all the way up, you know, to the other side just so they can craft a sword, because that's where the tier 5 forge is. So, I mean, their opinion will matter far, obviously, later down the line, saying, hey, look, if you're based out of Monarch's Bluff more than anywhere else, if a lot of people say that's the best place, then we can upgrade the forge afterwards, you know. So there will be communication back and forth between other Marauder clans and us. So
I don't think it works that way anymore. I think, for example, I keep using cooking. You know, to have a tier 5 cooking, you may need a tier 3 tannery or whatever you want to call it. So I think they will be connected in some way, shape, or form. I think. I remember reading somewhere that's gonna link up. Yeah, so potentially, I don't know if we have a tier 3 in Monarch's Bluff, whether the tier 3 the tier 5 cooking station can go ahead in Everfall, for example. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if they link up in that way. But yeah, that's something we need to explore and check out. Otherwise, yeah, it could be good to just go tier 5 in Everfall, tier 5 Forge in Monarch's Bluff, all that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, that is pretty much crafting the update anyway, officially on.
There's a lot more in depth to it now than it was on the previews. So yeah, definitely.
It's kind of like I don't
plus.
know what else to say at this point because there's so much to it. We could sit here and talk all night about it, but that's a quick look, a quick look through.
That's fair. And we've obviously expressed to everyone that what our intentions are as well. So in regards to crafters gathering.
Oh yes. Yeah, I mean, anything else you boys want to bring up? Want to chat about?
I want to fish.
Boys, do you, chat, boys, crew, do you have any last questions, last topics we maybe want to chat about? Chat about briefly. If not, see if you have what we do at the end again. We'll jump in for Saratech. We'll jump in for we'll jump in for a raid on another channel. If you've got a mate online or something, let me know his channel. We'll do a team.
You should do my brother. He's online.
Is he?
Yeah. I mean, it's Rocksmith like, but Air Trooper 719. Type that in.
The only thing I'll say, Banana, is it works. It produces children.
Ashes of Creation. Yeah, Ashes of Creation, we're heading that way. So again, if you are keen on Ashes of Creation and playing with us, head over to the Ashes of Creation section on the Discord. Make sure you self-assign the role, apply the form, all that sort of stuff. We'll be looking into that when the alpha becomes sort of non-NDA.
Definitely.
Ruby Potato, thank you for the follow. Yeah, did we raid Carnage before last time? I think it would be awesome to jump into Ty's brother.
Oh, do it, please. I want to see his
He'll
face.
shit himself, yeah.
What's he playing anyway?
I'll bring it on screen.
He's playing Rocksmith.
Here he is. This fucking god, man. Look at him, mate. He's smashing it.
That bass. Let's concentrate.
Yeah.
Is he an elder or a younger brother?
He's my oldest brother, yeah.
Okay, so one quick last thing I can ask from you guys as well. Obviously Ty is going to be streaming New World when it comes out, so head over to his, drop your link in chat, Ty. If we can give him the follows, that'll be good while I set up this raid. Show some love. Show some love. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, boys. If you've got any friends or any mates that wanted to play New World but don't know if they're fully dedicated to it yet, get them to fill the form out on our Discord anyway, just to make sure that we're saving people's spots. Thanks for joining. It's awesome. I appreciate it, and we'll be back. We're fucking back every night, but next Wednesday again, definitely for some more New World stuff. Yeah, once we get into, what's his name? Sorry,
Glenn. His name is Air Trooper 719.
once we get into the Air Troopers channel, give it the old, Pirate Gaming raid. Just big love. This is Ty's brother, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's my brother. Give him some love, boys. Come on.
Like,
He's jamming out.
do what we normally do and just spam the chat, just horrendously spam it. So yeah, all right, guys. We'll be on Discord chatting again if you want to come hang out. And Nox, Ty, thanks again, boys. Appreciate your time.
Cheers for having us.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
What the hell? What the... Holy shit, dude. Danneh TBH. Oh, he's a pirate. He's a fucking pirate. He missed the pirate tune. I think we got to play fucking a bit of Ailstorm for this dude if he likes the pirate shit. What do we reckon? Guys, welcome. Well, as you can tell, I'm Tight Eye's brother. Big brother. Welcome. Hell yeah. I hope you like metal music, because that's what we do here. Actually, we play a bit of everything. Try to. What we're playing here is a game called Rocksmith. If you haven't heard of it, it's a glorified Guitar Hero for real guitars. So, yeah, you pick a song and you try to play the notes that fly down on the screen. And because we're playing on PC, we've got the luxury of modded customs. So we got 30,000 songs at our disposal. Not all of them are accurate, but we try to have fun with them regardless. Holy fuck, what the hell's going on in this chat? So that is so many follows. So many follows, I can't even keep up. Jesus. All right,
Tribigus just subscribed.
Subscriptions as well? Jesus Christ, guys. Alright. Mitzi Wizzy, Swamps, Symbian, Zed, Saws. I'm really bad with usernames. Namira, Swapfox, Dutch Altair, Fry Burgers with a sub, Twitch Prime, hell yeah. It's always nice to get one of them. Yami with a follow, Fry Burgers follow as well. The Banana Order. This is fucking crazy, Jordan, you bastard. Noxivo, Mumi, Zraman. Jesus Christ, guys, thanks for all the follows. You fucking overwhelmed me there. Play us a song, right? I'm just guessing, Danneh is Pirate Gaming Raid, so we got to play a pirate song, right?
Exceptional
I hope I have it. Yeah, we do. We're gonna play. It's very fitting because that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So, cheers, guys. I'm gonna play some Hailstorm for you. Let's go. Every time he says drink, just throw some drink emotes up. I don't know. Cheers, guys. That's my drink anyway.